Hello and welcome back to the first round back nine coverage of the Preserve Championships hosted by Airborn Disc Golf. Coverage is presented by Prodigy Disc. This is the fourth of the 10 stops on the Disc Golf Pro Tour here in 2020. We've got big Julie commentary. Myself, Jeremy Koling, joined by my buddy Paul Ulibarri.
Good to be here, Jerm. Can't wait to see this back nine coverage.
Eagle McMahon scorching the front nine at 7 down. Calvin and James at 6 under. Kevin unfortunately finishing bogey, birdie, double bogey, taking him a little bit back of the action, but we can see the scores in the front nine. If you want to even be mentioned, you got to be shooting 6 down out here. There are some low scores in the first round. The wind is down, and we are at this beautiful property here in Clearwater, Minnesota. Kale LaVisca and the crew of the Airborn have just been putting a ton of work into making this course ready for the first ever stop at this place. And we are on to hole 10. Par 3, 299 feet. Plays more like 330 feet. Got that big wall you got to clear to be inbounds. And there's the cart path on the right that's out of bounds. Any shots that don't come in bounds have to go to a drop zone.
Quick green. That's about it.
Yeah, uphill, so it shouldn't be too quick. James is going to be going with a JC AVR, trying to put a little bit of turn on this and just holding that line beautifully. 18 feet away. What a huge advantage it is to be able to throw that putter uphill like that. Eagle probably lining up like some sort of vertical spike geyser.
Sidearm, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. And with the slight right to left slope of this green, I like the forehand coming in here with a good steep angle. Don't have to worry about it skipping down the hill away from the pin. It's not much of a slope, but it slightly favors counterclockwise spin. And Eagle pushes it a little bit long. And I think the spectators out here thought that might have been a little bit closer to drawing chains than it actually was, but good tee shot. I don't know what putter Calvin's throwing there, but that looked to be pretty good. Just drifted a little bit away at the very end. I believe this is one of those lavender D1s. Oh no. And Kevin, after the disastrous double bogey on the prior hole, has gone OB and has to go to the drop zone. Things are looking so good for him early on and just run into a little bit of a road stop here midway through the course.
Yeah, that is not the direction you can be going in this course.
No,
right
this
now.
is a sprint from start to finish. You are going to see a lot of green from whoever ends up winning this event. Plus or minus 1 or 2 bogeys total, I would imagine, for whoever ends up winning.
I would think that this tournament could possibly have the most players without a bogey at the end.
Yeah.
Ever of all time ever.
Yeah, that very well could be. Percentage-wise on the field, it will be it'll be interesting to see, as there just isn't a ton of OB. I mean, it is definitely incorporated into some of these holes, but pretty generous-sized fairways, pretty generous-sized greens. And with the wind being down, it's if a player's throwing the disc well, they're going to be in position to score low and get a lot of birdies. And James, that I believe is a turkey for just 2 in a row for him, but still right there in the hunt. He is at 7 down.
Yeah, and he just missed a couple putts on the front 9. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, he would be perfect.
He very well could be 10 down through 10 right now.
Right.
On to hole 11. This is the easiest hole in the course according to scoring average at 667 feet. No OB on the right or left to speak of, just a pretty fair-sized tunnel. And once the drive lands about 450 to 500 up the fairway, or if you're Eagle, 700 feet, you just pitch up to the stump and get your birdie and move on. Or your booty if you're Pirate.
James could be a pirate.
He would be a great pirate.
A really good pirate.
James Brownbeard Conrad with a nice turnover wraith.
Yep, that'll do.
And even though it's off to the edge, he got all the distance he needed before it trickled into the high grass. That'll be in a nice angle to the pin. And I think Eagle is lining an air shot, but who knows? He's had all sorts of tricks today.
I would just throw a roller if I was Eagle on every hole.
This sets up for a roller. And he has gone roller.
That is so far. That is so far away
Oh,
from the tee pad.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. No way. Circle 2 in regulation. That is absolutely bananas, man. Oh my goodness. How are you going to follow this flight? This isn't a flight. This is rolling. Follow roll.
I mean,
Such good angle. And he's going with so much more stable of a disc than really anyone else can roll. Yeah, you're not getting a flippy disc that far.
no. I mean, that is. I mean, it is what you're watching. It's really incredible.
Yeah. Calvin, I think that is a Halo Destroyer. That's low, ripped. I like this line. Yeah, a little bit of bend. And
He's going to make it to the green. Is he going to make it? No.
That is
Okay.
6 feet high and 560 feet right down the middle of the fairway.
Kev's going roller as well.
And
Too
this,
much.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too vertical. Yep, cutting into the woods on the right. But if it doesn't go deep, I don't think that's a problem. I mean, he's still 400 feet up the fairway. Off to the right, though. Could be tricky. Oh, yeah, hits a low ceiling. Really all depends on what you got, and Kevin didn't have much. And just a little point and shoot.
Going.
James is asking for it to get down, but that green is lush, and his putter checked up nice. What an advantage. Oh, Calvin giving that a nice run. Maybe seeing that the grass was pretty grabby back there, maybe give it a little bit more of an effort than, I don't know. It's hard to say. You think he was running that?
Yeah, I do. Look like it. Look like James wanted his to get down, but he actually ran it as well.
An eagle now for his second opportunity of the round for the Big Eagle 2 after a huge roller and just coming up a bit short. But he'll still be the closest. Easy tap in birdie.
These guys did leak a little bit too far, so
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna have to earn their birdies.
Oh, Calvin off high right, grabs a little bit of chain. Or maybe it just made the chain sound because it hit the band so hard. And James, he's high, and that's in. And there's the turkey. Playing some really smooth, consistent golf. Kevin needed that one to stay in, and this stretch is just killing his chances of competing at this event.
This is a unique course in that it, even if you have some sort of bad stretch like he's having right
Yeah.
now, there are so many birdies that you can just get on fire on this back nine. There's eagle opportunities as we're watching Eagle, pipe these down the fairway. So,
But
He's-
just like that, I mean,
he's even par, easily could
yeah,
get all of the back nine.
sure. I mean, he's even par, but with 7 holes remaining. You can still shoot 7 down. Every hole in this course is certainly eagleable or birdieable, and there's actually some eagles left to be had. So, but he's not trailing eagle by 9 through 11 holes, so certainly falling behind the pace. As you get a first look at the Mississippi River behind the basket here, a hole 12, par 3, 296 feet, low ceiling tunnel shot, a little bit of hyzer towards the end. Most players are probably going to be going with either a stable putter or a stable mid-range. I could even see maybe, well, not for this group, but a fairway driver for someone, just a little bit of touch and hyzer, but mostly going to see mid-ranges from this group. And James is going with the MD4.
I feel like this is just James's like perfect shot.
Absolutely. I mean, Cale LaVisca, James Conrad. I mean, there's a number of people that I think of when I see a hole like this. But this
Eagle,
is Conrad,
Calvin,
Kevin.
Yep.
4 names.
Anthony Barella.
Sure. Paul Ulibarri.
No. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No, I'm not going to, man. Eagle a little bit high, but yeah. Just keeping the ceiling as high as he possibly could. Calvin lining up a rock, I believe. Yeah, that is when you've got 2 other guys that are under the basket essentially, and you can actually see their disc. It really makes the hole even easier just to kind of pitch at that thing. And yeah, that's getting it done right there. The furthest drive is only 12 feet away. Kevin up and in.
He hit that hard.
Yeah, that was 100% commitment. I think if he missed that, that might have gone into Mississippi.
Oh, it might have been safe on the other side of the Mississippi there.
That is so dumb. Oh, my gosh. And there's a star frame. First one we've seen in a while. Another $25 to charity. As we get to hole 13, par 3, 360 feet. Just a nice little break off to the right. Good hole for a forehand, maybe a backhand turnover mid-range. We might even see a backhand turnover with a putter for James. But yeah, just a little bit of a low ceiling and a little tiny gap to speak of. But other than that, most of these guys should be up here putting for birdie relatively no problem.
And I actually checked this one with the rangefinder, and it was a little bit shorter. This one's like 330.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. I got the same reading at 111 yards.
Hey.
Fist bump? Not COVID. And James is going with a putter, and that is pushing the back edge. He has gone long. But still, he is, right now, through 13 holes, he is 100% in Circle 2 completion. So he is...
He's going to make it.
Well, Circle 2 in regulation, not in completion.
Okay.
That doesn't make sense. He has missed the putt outside the circle, but he is 100% in Circle 2 in regulation. So he's been putting on every hole so far. That being said, Eagle is still leading the way at 10 down.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and there's a slip up. I am very surprised to see that. Maybe the hole's too short for Eagle to throw that forehand.
It was kind of bizarre. He went down to a knee.
Yeah.
And then you could tell that probably wasn't intentional for his regular form.
Yeah, no,
Maybe
certainly.
It caused him to pull it a bit.
Calvin lining up the forehand, a bit high. Oh, and the first set didn't really mess him up, but the second set grabbed it and shot it straight down.
I feel like this is like a perfect hole for Kevin Siderm. He's been throwing them pretty low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly the width you're looking for. A little skip right up to the pin. Couldn't be easier. But really depending on how far Eagle kicked in, okay, he's on the edge, but that gets really nasty. If he gets another 5 feet down there, you almost have to just pitch out sideways. Oh, and Eagle.
I think I can see it from here, Jerm.
Not.
Back up.
I don't think he saw that. Okay, come on. 104 feet. No way! Oh my God! What?
I throw like my up shots from that distance.
Oh my gosh. One of the longest putts we've seen made in quite some time. All hyzer.
It was like a real putt. Like he was like, I'm just gonna putt it in.
Calvin didn't get a distance ticker. Maybe they should have put one up for him before he putted.
Yeah, that was incredible. Perfect. Yeah, all hyzer too. No
Jeez.
funny business.
No funny business. What does that mean?
No flex, I guess.
Yeah, sure. And Conrad, he's going to be off left. So surprisingly, only one birdie on the card, but also surprisingly, we got no bogeys.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Idlewild Open champion, Kevin Jones.
Hole 14 is a par 4 that measures 730 feet. With this tee shot, you must throw as straight as possible. If you don't, the OB on the left and the rough on the right will make it unpleasant for the thrower. If you do manage to keep it in the middle, you're left with this delicate shot into a very fast green. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, this green, as you mentioned, is very delicate, almost fragile, if you will. There's a big slope behind the pin, though. If the disc is not checked up on that approach, it will go to circle 2 in a heartbeat.
Yeah, thank you, other Paul, for the whole breakdown. You did really well.
Yeah, good job, dude. Kevin just safely gets that one in bounds. Looks like he took a little bit off that drive and didn't want to really flirt with that OB left or that heavy rough on the right. James not looking like he's trying to lay up. James looks like he could be dealing with a little bit of grip issues, and this is beautiful. Just beautiful. Full flex right into the middle.
Yeah, great commitment to aim on that left side where it's obvious it's out of bounds the whole way. And to have the trust, the commitment to drift that right in the middle of the fairway.
And how about Eagle after the tee shot just went to the right, approach shot comes up 100 feet short. To hit that putt, you keep that momentum going into these final stretch of holes.
I feel like if I was Eagle, it would be so bad because I would just be throwing rollers and.
Well, you got to be Eagle for at least 20 to 22 years before you start knowing how to utilize it.
Or you just be throwing 360s.
You can't imagine just being in 1 year of being Eagle and knowing what you're doing with
I
yourself.
want to try it.
Nah, man, I don't think you should do it.
We should try it.
Forehand hyzers straight in the middle for Eagle. Calvin just ripping into
It needs to
this.
sit though.
It does. This is pushing left. And it stays safe. There is a little bit of a railroad tide or something on the left side of this path. So if it is kept low without too much speed, it's going to save you from going OB like it did there for Calvin. That was an absolute boomer.
Yeah.
Kevin needs this one to keep staying straight, and it looks like it is. Oh, and there's that delicate green as it skips all the way down to the back edge of the circle. That'll be a tough putt for the birdie.
I would just throw another 360 from here. If I was Eagle.
Stop. it, dude.
Just kidding. This is nice.
Good speed.
Not at all, actually.
Would be what he needed if he wanted to throw it closer. A little bit long. And just going uphill, not being able to see the base of the pin makes it so difficult to judge that perfect distance.
It's a good thing you can make 104 footers.
No doubt. But also is a big advantage if you can throw that long drive. If you can see the full pin, it allows you to make that adjustment. And James goes big off the tee, allowing him to throw a putter approach. That is so far up the fairway. Goodness gracious.
Not nice.
Whoa.
Cheat code.
Yeah, that is getting it done easily. A little rhino pitch up to the pin. That'll be a tap in for Calvin. Eagle almost making that one from 55. Kevin, there's a turkey.
Back on track.
And you love to have that putt to be able to just kind of make up for that big mistake he made on hole 8, kind of reverse the story. Now he has an uphill putt. He can give 100% commitment. Eagle tapping in for the par. And we've got James and Calvin with just 20 feet between the total.
We got a ball game. James 10.
Yeah.
Eagle 10 now. Calvin right there at
Heimburg
9.
with a bogey at 9 down. Pretty crazy stuff here. Hole 15, par 4, 703 feet through this low tunnel here, up and over the hill. Anything that gets over that hill and into this field is set up for a approach that's in range for really any of these guys. Not too far. Just want to avoid this last tree, and then the sloping right to left green shouldn't be too much of an issue for these guys.
Yeah, really, the only thing you want to do is hit the gap. You hit the gap with any disc in your bag, you're
Yeah.
going to have a makeable upshot into that hillside.
Kevin going super flippy, really unwinding that shot. Not his full distance potential, but still a great rip. James up, not drifting much to the right, but really, like you said, once he's through the gap, that's mission accomplished.
This seems like a hole that Calvin can just, kind of like the last one, how he has that low penetrating power.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he could get in front of this tree and have like a makeable putt.
He's got that Florida line. You know, he's got something about Florida players. They just know how to drive a driver low ceiling far, just like you saw right there. One of the best in the game at keeping a drive under 7 to 10 feet and really penetrating the fairway. And what are you doing here, Eagle 2.0?
360 again. Just always throwing 360s.
Eagle early, high left, turning somehow, still not slowing down. He's out in the fairway. That's going to be just fine.
Or just be throwing 360s.
Putt 360. Kevin, this is looking like it's going to be scooting pretty far left. He's going to have another jump putt to try to make it 4 in a row.
James has had a putter in his hand on his approach on every par 4.
Insane. And look at this late turner here. That's beauty. That is a tap in for James Conrad. He is really putting together a special round.
Dairy Queened it.
A little twirly bird. Eagle, I believe this is a razor claw. Oh, no. Just a bit too wide. And I'm sure it was the last thing in the world he imagined that would be happening on that approach. And Calvin, once again, like, you know, I one of the things I must say I like about this course is that you would think that every course a distance player would have an advantage, but out here it is especially so. And I think that that is a great thing a great skill to reward those players who've worked on that skill to have a course that they can showcase that range.
Thank you. We really appreciate that.
I was waiting for you to help me, and you just let me drown.
We appreciate that. You know, us big throwers.
Kevin,
Nice, Kev.
once again, another jump putt. It's like one of those times when you're kind of getting beat up pretty bad by the course that you just really are able to zone in. And right now, Kevin is able to turn around this, rewrite the story of this round. He's 4 down. Calvin is up and in. What I'm saying is sometimes throwing far doesn't really matter because 2 short shots means the same thing as a long drive and an approach. But out here, these long drives are really setting up just the easiest approaches for Calvin. As we've seen in the last 2 holes, he's had 30% putter shots to the green, whereas other people are throwing full drives twice to try to get to this hole.
Sure.
Hole 16, par 3, 378 feet. Just a big hyzer up to the mound. This pin is going to be on the backside. There's really just one tree you're trying to avoid. The play is either that big spike hyzer or maybe you try to skip it from the bottom of the hill up. I could also see maybe a mid-range thrown straight at the pin, but it does a slope behind the pin as well, so you really have to put the brakes.
I feel like a lot of players have been doing the mid-range or maybe even skipping around the entire thing.
The backside, okay.
Yeah, that way you don't have to worry about the slope, and then you can have that putt kind of coming back. But
And that was a nice straight shot from Kevin. He'll have a low ceiling putt, but inside the circle, 25 feet.
that is right. Yeah, and here's that wide play that I was talking about. I think he's trying to go around.
Oh, skipping up the hill. An
Uh-oh.
unfortunate roll off the tree. That was trickling right up to the pin. James doesn't seem too disappointed by it. He's still 100% circle 2 in regulation.
He's like, have you ever seen me jump putt?
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
we have
just
seen
fine.
James jump putt quite a few times. And he's real good at it, too. Calvin going out wide. Just needs to avoid that. But that's okay. Honestly, not a bad thing to throw it. Maybe you get through it and you're parked. Maybe you drop down and you're still inside the circle. Maybe you hit it and roll outside the circle like James.
Maybe you land short. You miss your putt.
You pack up your bags and you drive home.
Basically what I did.
Eagle going super spike and coming up short.
Wow, we're going to see a lot of circles edge putts right here.
Yeah, this is a putt off here. Good old fashioned putt off. James Conrad leading the way.
I would never want to have a putt off with James.
No, I wouldn't either. Boom. That's why.
Yeah.
That is sick.
So good.
Mm-hmm. Full commitment. I mean, you miss that putt, and it just doesn't slow down. You're
Back
every
in the-
bit of
yeah,
where you just came from, but on
Yep.
the other side of the pin.
back in the Mississippi.
That's behind him. That's behind all of us. Eagle from circle's edge. He's off right
Uh-oh.
side, and this is on that bad roller line. Oh, man. And that's out to 40 feet. I'm surprised Calvin is... Eagles let Calvin go before him. Calvin up and in. Oh, maybe Eagle didn't know until just now that he rolled. Big focus putt for Eagle. Keeping that bogey-free round alive, man. He is can't be happy about the 4 straight pars, but he's still 10 under, and he's just cannon putts from everywhere.
Yeah, you missed 4 holes in a row. You're 10 under par. What the?
That's crazy. Kevin. And his birdie streak comes to an end at 4.
Just such a deflating
Yeah.
feeling, you know.
I think, at the same score he was at this point in the round. And tell you what, when you start thinking about being 4 or 5 down through 16 holes, and you know what the scores are coming in out there, it's kind of a deflating feeling because there's just birdies to be had everywhere. Speaking of birdies, here we are, hole 17, par 3, 269 feet. Slightly low ceiling right there at the end of that tunnel, but for the most part, it's just a birdie with a putter for all these guys. The only thing that really makes it difficult maybe is the elevated basket.
Yeah, it's a pretty tight tunnel as well.
It can be.
I'm guessing like usually one out of all
Yeah.
all of the guys might miss in the whole field. No, just kidding. You know what I mean. One out of every group.
Yeah, sure. And Calvin
There's
is
the
the
one.
one recipient on this hole.
And that's why it's a tough gap. I mean, it is what, like maybe 8 feet in width.
Yeah, it's nothing that should be too challenging, but it's just tight enough that, you know, you have to think about it. You have to be focused, and you got to have the right game plan. Are you going to go flip up? Are you going to go stable? Are you going to go overstable, a little Anheuser? There's enough room left and right to be able to work whatever angle works best for you to throw a straight shot at this distance. Eagle's just going to go standstill putter. Low driven, and he has also missed the gap, so maybe I gave these guys a bit too much credit as low as they're going. 3 scores in the double digits.
Or maybe you didn't give the hole enough credit.
I gave the hole plenty of credit. Eagle's just going to try to make this from 275 feet away.
Seriously. In. Oh.
From 400 Mississippi feet away. And Kevin, even though he was off early, is still closer to the pin than James. But James is just connecting today, folks. 13 down, moving into the very eagleable par 5 18th. Look at that 9-hole stretch we're seeing there. 8 down, making it look so easy.
And honestly, it really is that easy. This course is playing very easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shorter course. There's no wind. As soon as the wind picks up, if it does in the next few days, these scores will not be like this.
And,
But really, on any calm day, on any course that we play right now on tour, these guys are so good that these scores are going to happen. There's going to be multiple 10 unders, and there will be somebody, no matter how much OB there is or whatever, somebody's going to drift into those teens.
And you come on out here, try to shoot these scores yourself. I mean, you'll realize how big this course is and how small this card is making it look. We are onto the final hole. Hole 18, par 5, 930 feet. Drives are going to come right up to maybe just a little short of that green and that bunker there. That's a big drive, setting up for a shot where you're either going to have to pitch up or maybe go for the pin and 2, but this is a very eagleable par 5. I imagine these guys are going to try to set themselves up for a big 2-shot.
Yeah, the out of bounds on the right definitely is intimidating. So I wouldn't be surprised to see at least one person go a little bit left.
And James has just crushed this one. It needs to get up over. Yes. If it hits that side hill, you're going to have an uphill run up and really no chance to attack the green. But James clears that with ease. He is an ideal eagle position.
And this is that left that I was talking about,
Yeah.
I think.
But look at that thing flip up still. That is just huge. Out there, super safe. That'll set Kevin up for either a big spike hyzer or maybe even a forehand.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, actually, because he pinched himself up against
Okay.
those trees on the left.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what he's going to have, but it's going to be tricky.
Calvin really hanging this one out there wide, but high and on the green. I have not seen that yet. I knew that people could do that, but
So that green is actually the spot that a lot of people are trying to lay up to who don't have the distance to go over into. You
Yeah.
land right where Calvin is, and you have a perfectly straight shot that's about 320 feet into the green.
but after their second shot.
Yes. Yeah, it's
Calvin-
definitely the layup area.
Yeah, and Calvin has just gone there and won. And Eagles just what? Oh my gosh!
Oh, yeah, brother.
In the bunker, and that is a casual bunker. That's a casual 650.
Bunker. There's that spike hyzer you were talking about, but it is playing far.
Yeah, you've got to get going. That should clear the out of bounds area, I believe. He is safe, but didn't quite get all the way up there for the look. James, this is high, this is wide. It's looking good. And really, no matter what he does here, he's inside the circle. Under regulation, he has put himself in position to putt on every single hole for the entire course for the day, which is a huge accomplishment. Inside the circle for Eagle, and Eagle also trying to be inside the circle for Eagle, but no, coming up way short.
If James misses his putt and rolls outside the circle, he will actually have missed
Oh my
the
goodness.
green in regulation.
But it's still circle 2 in regulation. He's not going to roll 66 feet away from
You
the
don't
pin.
know that.
All right, well, we'll
No
see, folks.
spoilers.
Stay tuned.
This is nice.
And Calvin has rolled up to 30 feet. And if he doesn't roll 70 feet away after this putt, he's going to...
I know I shouldn't have said anything. I'm sorry.
Kevin from long range, 80 feet. And a good fight back as Kevin's going to tap that in to finish at 6 down. And he went 6 down in the last 7 holes. So good work for Kevin to turn around that really shaky middle section of the round. Eagle from circle 2. He'll have to settle for a birdie on this hole, but I'm sure that feels like a par.
Yeah.
That is, after that big drive, I'm sure Eagle's not going to be too happy with that. And his scorecard's going to say 11 under, but he's going to wish that he could replay these last 5 holes. Calvin, he's up to 13 under with the Eagle final hole. We didn't see the cool glasses that much on the back 9, but he brought some swag to the course today, that's for sure.
13 of them. 13 swags.
And James trying to go 9 down on the back 9 here with the Eagle putt. That's up and in. James Conrad, 15 under. And the smiles.
15 swags.
15 swags for him. Only 6 swags for Kevin. And that'll be 11 for Eagle. Closing out this first round here from the first ever event at the Preserve Championship.
That was a blast to watch.
Yeah, it really was made so much easier watching them do it than me playing it. But be sure to check in for the rest of the week. We've got all 3 rounds action here in Clearwater, Minnesota. And like we talked about earlier, fire emojis for LeCastro and Conrad, 15 down. Simon Lizotte and Calvin Heimburg will be returning to the league card for tomorrow. What an incredible round of action. Thank you so much to the JomezPro Founders Club. You guys are the reason we're here, bringing all the action to you from the Disc Golf Pro Tour, stop number 4 of 10. We'll bring you the rest of the action from round 2 tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.